Well, good afternoon, New Spirit family. It is so great to be here with you for this week's devotional, hoping that this video finds you safe and blessed in the Lord. Well, Happy New Year. The new year is upon us, and I really hope that today finds you feeling joyful, blessed, and hopeful for what the new year is going to bring to you. And I know that for many of you, you have maybe mixed feelings about what 2023 brought. Some of you may have bittersweet feelings. You may have some really joyful memories and memories of celebration, but many of you may have moments of pain and heartache and disappointment that you encountered as well. And so I thought long and hard, what message can I bring to you to kick off this new year for you? And I couldn't think of a better message than the idea of staying in the moment. And when we look at scripture, it's one of the most consistent themes that we find. The idea of staying in the moment, not getting stuck in the past, not getting too far ahead of ourselves into the future, but learning to stay rooted and trusting in God in the moment. I want you to remember this. Staying in the past will only bring you regret. And focusing too much on the future will only bring you fear and anxiety. On the past, I think of what the prophet Isaiah says in chapter 43, where speaking to the Jewish people, saying, look, that for a time that they would serve as slaves in Babylon, and they had lost their hometown of Jerusalem, and they had longed for home and suffered great things, that God offered a promise to them through the prophet Isaiah. And I'm going to read to you from Isaiah 43, verses 18 to 19. He says to them, remember not the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. And even within this context, this passage can speak to us as Christians as well. That we remember that even though that we have memories of heartache and pain, just like the Israelites had in their events after the diaspora and the things that had happened to them through the judgment of Babylon, that they could look to the future with a new hope and realize not that they needed to forget what happened, but when God tells them, remember not the former things, he's saying to them, don't dwell on these things. Don't live in the past, or you'll get embittered, or you'll just be filled with heartache and not look and receive that God is doing a new thing. So if you're speaking on the past, and if you're looking to the past and it's really affecting you, remember the words of Isaiah 43. It's a reminder that you can't get stuck in the past, because there's better things ahead for you, and God is doing a new thing in your life. And on the future, Christ reminds us in Matthew chapter 6, verse 34, therefore do not be anxious for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. And it's a reminder that if we stay too focused on the future, we're going to miss our moment. And God has something in store for you today. But if we're living in tomorrow, just as if we were living in the past, we'll miss the moment that God has in store for us here and now today. But on living in the present, I want to read to you from Proverbs chapter 4, verses 25 to 26, where it says, let your eyes look directly forward and your gaze be straight before you. Ponder the path of your feet, then all your ways will be sure. So if you're the kind of person that has trouble letting go of the past, learn to let go and trust that whatever happened in 2023 or whatever year in the past, that God is going to use it for your good, that he's going to work in your life. And even the things that seemed bad, God will use in order to build you up and refine you. Learn to forgive your past mistakes. Learn from them and focus not so much on what you've done, but on what God will do with you here and now moving forward. And if you're the kind of person that worries about tomorrow, learn that tomorrow is not yours. Tomorrow belongs to God. And you have to remember that you have to trust in him, and that whatever tomorrow holds, God has it, and he's got it way better than you and I ever could. And I think of Jeremiah 29:11, where he says, for I know the plans I have for you, plans for welfare, which are good things, and not for evil, to give you a future, and not just a future, but a future and a hope. So if you'll trust God with your tomorrow, he's going to bless you here and now today. Focus on today, because that's what we have. And in all of these ways, I think that Proverbs chapter 4, verses 25 to 26 I think it sets the precedent. Think about it. It says, let your eyes look directly forward and your gaze be straight before you. And so if you're focusing on anything, and if you're going to ponder anything, notice what it says, ponder the path of your feet, then all your ways will be sure. So if you're going to focus on anything, focus on what you're doing here and now. And as Christ tells us, we've got enough challenge for what to do today. Don't worry about tomorrow. Not that we shouldn't plan or be responsible, but that if we'll focus on fulfilling God's will today, God has our tomorrow in store. And if you're having trouble letting go, if you're having trouble with trauma or heartache or pain of the past, remember and learn even those things God will use for my good. Trust in him in all these ways. And if you'll follow these precedents that have been set forth and really the teachings of Proverbs chapter 4, verses 25 to 26, I can assure you that 2024 will be a blessed year. And until next time, my friends, God bless you.